I don't know what I'm doing. So this video is going to be about how Asian people save money because they always save a lot of money. I think there was a statistic about how if you have a college degree and you're Asian, the chances of you becoming a millionaire is 25%. I think the chances for white people is like slightly less, maybe like 22%. And for Hispanic and black people, it's so sad. I think Hispanic people is like 6%. So that tells you something about white privilege. Asian people don't have privilege. No, we are savers. It's embarrassing how much we save. It really is. I will give you some examples because it's just so embarrassing that I know people like this. So I guess the first person I can think of that's pretty ridiculous is my aunt. She's my aunt on my husband's side. So she is a experienced saver. She has something about Asian people have like no shame when it comes to saving money. They have shame in a lot of things. Like they will shame you for your body, they will shame you for being fat, they will shame you for being too skinny, they will shame you for not getting good enough grades, they will shame you for not choosing the right career, they will shame you for basically most things. Sexuality, being slutty, wearing skirts, I don't know, fucking everything. But they have no shame when it comes to saving money. So my aunt, I heard this story about how she went to McDonald's. This is pre-pandemic, and she would use the ketchup squirter. She'd bring her own Heinz bottle. I bet it was like a cheaper brand too. I bet it was like a 99-cent brand ketchup, one of the off brands. And she would bring it in and squirt ketchup to refill her bottle. The manager had to step in and ask her to leave. So that is one story. I had another one. I know a person that is related. His brother-in-law doesn't want to pay for trash services to his house, and instead what he does is he goes to the park at 5 a.m. to basically throw out his trash. So he throws out his trash in trash bins at the park because he didn't want to pay, I think it's like $200 a year for trash services. I think it's kind of crazy. And my favorite is my mother-in-law. So we went on vacation, we went to Russia for, you know, one of the cruises where they go like to see the Nordic areas. So the northern, okay, I think the more I say it, the less it sounds right. Northern Europe, and because I was on a cruise, you get free coffee, but I was off the cruise because we just got into Russia and I wanted to get some coffee. So I bought like a 99-cent coffee, and for like, I kid you not, like 30 minutes, she shitted on me for wasting money when there was free coffee on the cruise. And it was my money. And we were on vacation. Yeah, so like Asian people are like next level with their cheapness. So I have a lot of tips for you guys because I'm Asian and I'm also cheap. Let's get started. So I've been an experienced saver for a long time, and I also happen to be Asian, which legitimizes this video. Don't you hate it when you're reading a self-help book and the guy goes on and on about his accomplishments? Like, just to legitimize the fact that you're like taking his advice and listening to him when you're already picking up the book, so that means you're already gonna listen to his advice. It just doesn't make any sense for him to have to go on and on about his accomplishments basically come from his own big ego. Anyways, I love to save money. I've been saving money for maybe like four years now, and a lot of it was my husband's money, albeit he provided a lot for me. I was a stay-at-home wife, but I was in charge of our finances. In our heyday, before the baby was born, I think we were saving $4,000 to $5,000 a month. That was pretty hefty. We did a lot. We did a lot of things so that we can save money. But I mean, yeah, it helped that he made a lot of money too, so there's that. Here are some habits that I do to help me save money, but are a little less crazy than the examples I told you about. Just a little less crazy. Okay, first tip is that we really care about the temperature of our home. In the winters, we keep our home at a brisk 70 degrees. This is really, it's pretty cold. A livable temperature. And then in the summer, we keep it at 85, which is pretty hot. I have to admit, sometimes I wear a wet t-shirt. It's a very useful tip to wear a wet t-shirt around the house because it keeps you really cool until you need to wet it again. And I do that quite often. So that's something. Yeah, we're super cheap. It's kind of embarrassing, whatever. We even talked about like once he gets a better job and like a bump in his salary, that we will leave our summer temperature at 82 degrees because we're luxurious like that. Yeah, I mean, we're like pretty next level cheap. I mean, if you're watching this, come on, Asian people are next level cheap, so saves us a lot on electricity, saves the environment, keeps us humble. It's a lot of things, but yeah, that's my first tip. Oh, my next tip is to fuck Starbucks. Not really fuck Starbucks, but you know, like don't go to Starbucks. Don't buy coffee outside. I think this is a quite obvious one. I think a lot of financial gurus talk about not buying coffee every single day.
All right, well, first of all, nobody's spending money on avocado toast. This guy from Australia who's ripping off my latte factor, what are you thinking about, buddy?
Really want to do that? No. Can you just make coffee at home? Every single penny counts.
Do you think we spend too much on dining out?
Maybe, but everyone else is doing it. Besides, what's the alternative? Cooking at home?
Just make your own coffee at home. Starbucks coffee is shitty anyways. There's no point in going somewhere, wasting gas, wasting your time, standing in line, buying a $6 cup of coffee. You could just make the same shitty cup of coffee at home. The basic rule of thumb is like, don't eat out all the time, right? One, it's like not good for you. Two, it's like not good for your bank account. And three, it's not good for the environment. I don't know, I didn't have a third one. But like my husband and I, when we go out to eat, we eat out on the weekends only and maybe like once or twice. But when we're at home, we cook everything, and when we have coffee, we usually drink coffee at home because it's just more affordable. Anyways, that's my second tip, which is kind of an obvious tip. I feel like it's a dumb tip to even put in here, but wait, whatever, I already did it, so that's life. That's probably not an Asian tip either because like, again, the financial gurus do it, so it's not, it's just a tip. My third tip is to go to a cheaper grocery store. Like stop going to Vons, stop going to Whole Foods. Does anyone even go to Whole Foods anymore? It's not worth it. Stop going to Ralph's. Yeah, so I think there's an Aldi near everyone these days. It's so much more affordable to buy your food from a cheaper grocery store, and you save so much money in the long run. So I go to my local Aldi. Aldi is a German grocery store that's been like rising in America because of how affordable it is. Whenever I go to Aldi and I spend, like I get a cart worth of stuff, I end up spending like $100 to $150. That's a lot of stuff. Back in my heyday, there was a grocery store in El Monte called Bilo. It's like, oh, I like miss it so much. But they ran out of business for obvious reasons. But year round, it would be oranges, 5 pounds for $1. Pomegranate would be 3 pounds for $1. It was like so fucking cheap. Like I would get a cart full of food and it would end up being like 60 bucks or like less. Things die for reasons. Probably because it was not sustainable how cheap it was. But it was so good. Oh well. Oh, here's an Asian tip everyone uses. Share your streaming accounts with other people. Even if you're like the one paying for it, just share it. It's crazy how much you save. My friend and I have been sharing Netflix for 5 years and she basically pays for it, so that's amazing. And then recently, oh, I don't even pay for Prime. I think we share that with a friend of ours. And I share that with like 10 other people. Like that account is being highly used. There's so many streaming things. Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, just share it with people. Everyone will reap the rewards. My last tip would be, I don't hate Amazon. Amazon is so convenient. Like when I had my baby, I wanted to 2-day ship anything that would help her sleep. So Amazon helped me out. Amazon's my bro. But Amazon is also like pretty evil. Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor, and all that jazz is still pretty true, but you know, everyone uses Amazon and it's essential. But if we're gonna help evil billionaire, let's help Jack Ma, because Jack Ma owns AliExpress. If you don't know what AliExpress is, it's kind of like Amazon, but it's like 3 times cheaper than Amazon. You can buy anything on AliExpress. Not anything, but a lot of things. So then it's 3 times cheaper, but it takes like 10 times longer to get to your house. I think like the delivery window is 60, 75 business days. It's kind of crazy. So you wait a long time for your shit to come in, but if you can wait the long time, like if you don't need it right away, I think it's way better to buy on AliExpress. Okay, I do not recommend buying clothes on AliExpress. Things in plastic are typically good. It's just fabric that's confusing. Ever since I became a mom, I've been obsessing about buying purses. It's like I became a mom and I was like, I really need something in my life, and something about purses. I've always been attracted to like a luxurious purse. There have been some I've been looking at, especially now that I've, you know, been sleep deprived, and like I feel like I want something in my life to make me fill the void that's in my life, but really it's like sleep and having a break and like things that I can't really have. The things I need are the things I can't really have, so I'm reaching for the things I want, and I've been wanting a couple of luxurious bags. I bought them on AliExpress and half of them have come in. It's been about 6 weeks, so I'm waiting for another couple of purses to come in, and I want to do a counterfeit purse video, so watch out for that. Anyways, I can't do it yet because it's a 75 business day window for my stuff to come in, so you will see that video maybe late March. It's pretty long. It's really sad. But hey, you know what? I saved like thousands of dollars just buying fake counterfeit purses, so that's good. Here's my last tip. It's more of an American tip than an Asian tip. Asian people are huge consumers. We love to, we're cheap, but the thing is that we want to buy a lot of products for little price. That's what we want to do. But in American culture, there's like this trend about minimalism, so you don't want to buy anything, as opposed to like Asian culture where you want to buy everything for a little money. So I would say that if you're trying to be more conscientious of your finances and you're trying to be more responsible and you want to save more money, then the American thing that I do is I try to be more minimalistic. Like I care more about the environment. I mean, I don't always care about the environment because I bought these luxurious purses that are like cowhide skin. Oh, I said it. I think if you're conscientious of how much you're consuming, like I eat meat, but I don't eat a lot of meat, and I try to supplement with a lot of tofu and eggs. So yeah, so then if I buy these luxurious purses, I don't try to buy a lot and always and like have lots and lots of bags and like throw them out and buy more bags. I'm very conscientious. And I think like with minimalism, it's kind of the same kind of concept where you buy stuff that's like good quality, and you buy stuff that you really, really love, and then you keep it for a long time, and hopefully you that supplements your urge to buy more. I think that's a very American tip, definitely. I was telling my father-in-law that like I want my daughter to have less toys because I think it's not great. The statistic is that American children own 40% of all the toys in the world. 40%. And you know how many children there are in the world, like American children? There's only 3% of American children in the whole wide world. 3%. And we own 40% of the toys. When I heard that statistic, I was like, wow, like we are the consumers of the consumers. Like we just love stuff so much. I think Ronnie Chang does this thing about how we love stuff. We just ship stuff all the time.
There's so much stuff in America. There's so much abundance. It's like Christmas every day. iPhone 8s and 10s at the same time. Can't even wait in America. We get the iPhone 8, we're like, you know what? Fuck 8 and fuck 9, 10. Let's go.
And I think there's like this huge like movement where we're trying to be more conscientious. So I told my father-in-law this statistic, and he said he's Chinese. It just shows you how much wealth America has. And I know he came from China where there was a lot of poverty and like a lot of stuff that's like, to him, America and the American dream means like a lot of shit. And that's like the epitome of like making it in America. But I think an American tip that I think has helped me save a lot of money, but also helped me be more calm in my head and like enjoy the stuff I have and appreciate the stuff I have rather than always trying to find more stuff, is this minimalistic ride that we all try to emulate sometimes. So yeah, that was a very helpful tip for me to save more money. And I know sometimes I say that I'm minimalistic because of, you know, the environment's going to shit and like global warming and like I'm just trying to have a lower footprint in the world. Really, I'm just really cheap. Like, I just want to save money. I want to save money so that I can retire someday and my husband and I don't have to work and we don't have to worry about finances. And that's why I ultimately save money. I do it for me. So I'm not saying don't like care about the environment, but I just want to be real that it's not always about the environment, that I'm cheap. I am cheap because it's good for me. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. Obviously, I hope it was helpful. If you thought that was dumb, then give me a thumbs down, for real. Like, I'm learning as I go, and sometimes I fuck up. So, yeah, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any cheap tips for me. Maybe I can emulate some of them. Let me know if you learned something. If you didn't, then this is embarrassing. And I'll see you next time. Bye.